Ooh, what's up, everybody? Rex Extreme Werewolf, and I'm back on the topic of Dragamonz. So in this case, for this type of video, let's go with a different catchphrase. Let's get ready to battle. We are Dragamonz. Today we'll be talking about Dax. You see, he looks noble in this card, both here and here. It looks kind of terrifying, really, when you think about it. But okay, yeah, never mind. He has the scales represent his counterattack, while his fangs represent his 40. While 40% of it goes, 30% goes to counterattack, so that's counterattack damage. But here's the thing, though. In Dragamonz, they don't necessarily give you the health on their cards. But just to tell you something, here's something you should know. Dax is was never really that noble. I mean, yes, he was noble, but not leader noble. I mean, he only became that way when he was chosen to save Dragamar, his homeworld, from an evil foe, from an old foe of evil rising because of the crystal. Which, of course, Dax activated the first time when he had to stop his new best friend before his new best friend, Borgon, could land a hit. He won the battle, of course. But, Dax won the battle, I mean. If ways of cheating, if you technically count with the legendary crystal Dragon. But let's get back to the topic. Dax is a Stormclaw, and of course you should know, it's a dragon with water. But just like nature power or rock power or pyro power of both Wildthorn, Stone Scale, and Firewing, you would probably guess that that another word for water in Latin terms, in the Latin language, would be aqua, or Spanish, or whatever. But in this case, there's another word for water: hydro. Hydro, of course, is yeah, that's just basically what I mean. But in this case, let's get into the attack. Let's get into the story. Okay, we're not going to get off topic. Let's start with the story. Dax the Stormclaw. We see Dax starting out as a rookie student training against Master Peros, leader of the Stormclaws. And he looks like this. This is what he looks like. He's different in the show, trust me. Oh, and he's one of the he's one of the Dragamonz to be. Since he's the leader of the Dragamonz, it would make sense that he would be in the faction. But he was training Dax to learn how to fight. But of course, in truth, Dax was getting sick and tired of it, because he said it was so boring to fight off a Dragamonz from the same faction. I mean, think about it. He could probably face off against any when he faces off any Stormclaw, he doesn't feel the satisfaction he needs. Like, his gut and heart tells him that it wasn't the right way. And the right way was supposed to be battling not just Stormclaws, but, well, actually, it should be better off to be fighting off against Dragamonz of different factions, either nature, fire, rock, poison, water, and accordingly, in the end of Season 1, dark magic with Grimwraths. In fact, Dax was finally satisfied when he started his adventure, when he first met his newest best friend out of the Stormclaw, and literal best friend actually, Borogon. Borogon, who looks like a boar but is a dragon still, was technically, you won't believe this, but if you saw the show, you should know that Borogon 2 didn't Borogon as well. Borogon 2 didn't like the fact that he had to face off against other wild thorns. So that's what sparked the friendly relationship between Dax and Borogon, even when they battle each other with attacks and counterattacks. And then soon after meeting one of the spirits of the original Dragonmar, the original Dragamonz, the original Dragamon of water, Cyrus, who was basically like an orca with seashells for shoulders, but he tells Dax that he was chosen by the Crystal of Dragonmar to reunite all the Dragamonz and restore Dragonmar back to its former glory, which finally happened after Dax, a Grimwrath version of Borogon, Fyra, the mystic leader of the Firewings, Gorgor, mystic of the mystic stone scale, Azakai, the mystic of the leading mystic Azakai. I'm sorry if I'm having croaks in my throat, but basically Azakai, leader of the poisonous lie toxins. And here's a fact: despite what Cyrus said in explaining about the original Dragomar of the original 5 elements, turns out when you look at the faction, Sly toxins are all about their potions and poison. Which is why I said earlier in the prologue that alchemy is basically magic itself if they were Skylanders. But for now, and then of course they got leader of the Wild Thorns, Gyrodus. Each one of them finally restored Dragomar, and now all of them best friends, and as well as being able to battle different Dragamonz. Let's get to their attacks. Let's start off with the first one, Vitamin C. This Vitamin C, actually I can't remember what it was basically. One thing's for sure, I can't remember if it was attack. Well, you know what, let's go with something else. You see here, this time freeze right here. If your enemy plays a 3-numbered battle card, it has no effect. Time freeze is basically one of the Stormclaws' greatest counterattacks, because it literally freezes an enemy in midair or mid-attack. Then we got the basic fire-based fire breath, or in this case water-based. We got Shouting Spout. But then for another attack is Hydraulic Headbutt, which is basically a charge it's kind of like the Stormclaw version of the Wild Thorn version called Primitive Surge. But then here's something else. Health Charge. In the show, that never showed. In fact, it was Vitamin C to Hydraulic Headbutt, but Time Freeze and Shouting Spout at Season 1. Season 2 would probably bring Health Charge, though, which can basically heal your Dragamon. And there's no catch. You can just basically heal. But like I said before, earlier in the video, how are you gonna tell? I mean, how can you heal your Dragamonz if you don't even know what the percentage of their health is? I mean, where's the subtraction or the addition of damage, or the subtraction of damage of health? But anyway, this is what Stormclaws are. You can see sometimes there are certain attacks that can be charged. The only ones that can be charged are either Vitamin C, Frost Hammer, and I'm guessing Health Charge as well, and Jetstream. And of course, just Dax is an agile dragon too. Remember that the dragon tails represent agile, as in able to dodge and stuff. The dexterity or agility, whatever. I think they mean the same thing, but what? Oh well. This is Rex's Extreme Werewolf, and oh wait, before I go, let's talk about their eggs. To tell which one is Stormclaw, because you see, when I first opened up my egg, I thought the Sly Toxin egg was a Stormclaw egg because it had blue, but then I realized it was a Sly Toxin when I got the faction card. But for now, I realized that this was the real one. You guys see the spirals of waves. That's what it looks like when a wave hits another wave. But for now, thank you all for enjoying this video of the Stormclaws, and goodbye.